Come on now. Y'all already know what this is. First things first. God did this. Don't get mad with us. I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. And we got the one man and the only man that can check into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Look, I know it's been a while, y'all. I know it's been a little minute, and I get it. Yeah, we got to talk about a few things. The masked man. You know what I'm saying? NXT going crazy itself, and SmackDown just with the whole wide six situation. But we got a few things we got to talk about. Okay, but let's go ahead and kick it off. Talk about those 2 hours and 30 minutes of fire with Monday Night Raw, baby. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. Raw was a little interesting. How they started everything off. You know what I'm saying? Everything with John Cena. Hey, shout out to the Never Seen 17, of course. You know what I'm saying? That did his thing. Really told his story on Cody's podcast a few days ago as to why he tapped and everything. I said, I get it. I get it. I mean, but this is what we was talking about even on Saturday. So I was like, you know what? All right, John, I ain't mad. And I ain't talking Tupac. Now, but for real. But seriously, let's go ahead and kick it off and talk about this first segment, man. Gunther. Okay. Gunther came out, was getting those boos, man. I said, woo, man. Look, this was actually really good. Gunther comes out, talks about how he made John Cena tap, that he made John Cena give up. I said, come on, bro. Come on, man. Then he actually proceeded to leave, came back, started feeling good about himself, cut another promo, saying that he's the best. I said, man, come on, stop. I said, yo, everybody's sitting there booing this man. Then he proceeded to go to the back, sees Otis, sees Cesaro. Then he sees R-Truth. Once he sees R-Truth, he calls him a piece of trash. Adam Pierce, he sees him. He told him, at this point, he told him you can leave for the night. But this is what kind of caught my interest. This is what kind of scared me. I'm not even gonna lie. I was a little worried about this because I thought to myself, this is what we're gonna be seeing for AJ Styles' last match? And I hope not, but funny thing is, that man Gunther and the You Can't See Me on AJ Styles. Thought this was a little interesting. Seeing that face off with AJ Styles and Gunther. At this point, we done seen, AJ Styles done took out Goldberg. And unfortunately, now that we know that, Gunther is now taking out John Cena. Those are two legends, and really one real legend, real champion. That he's taken out, that he's put down. Would AJ Styles be the next one? I don't know. I don't know, man. I just felt like they kind of sprinkled that nugget. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it seems like Gunther might be getting that moniker, that name to be known as they try to call him the career killer. I said, come on, let's not take it that far. He's not killing careers here. And if anything, he's just ending them. I mean, but I don't know, man. You just might as well call him Mr. Farewell. I don't know. Just something. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Well, it is the ring general. So, the further build up, Gunther, if you feel like he needs that, I mean, this is good for him, to come out, the crowd is booing, and it just makes sense for Gunther to be in this position over, as we said before, over him, just because that the crowd is going to be upset. People have been upset about the whole thing, and I get it. Um, but I really do think that WWE in this situation here made the right choice for the person to use to end a career with John Cena. And I thought the tap out was fitting, just because of the career of John Cena, and it coming to an end. And to me, it was him um, passing on or doing wrestling one last thing favor before he left, and saying, "This is it for me. It's time. It's time to pass it on to the next generation of wrestlers." And so Gunther, I loved the way he came out this week. I loved how he understood coming in that the crowd was not going to give him the time of day, and that they were going to boo him. And he found a way to kind of rub that into their faces, and still just achieve just that heel energy that he received. And I like I said, I just think Gunther is perfect for this. And then to kind of build on that with the segment into AJ Styles, you could definitely see that is going to be the next big thing that's probably going to happen going into next year, with this being AJ Styles' last year in the WWE, or last year wrestling before he retires. It makes sense to have another match with Gunther versus AJ Styles, because it's kind of going on and passing that moniker or that legacy of the career ender. I won't say the career killer. I'll just say the career ender to Gunther. Um,
Yeah.
this old school, just brute, beat you down in the center of the ring type of wrestler. And I know, I think they talked about it on the WWE post show, where Michael Cole said it poetically, where he said, sports entertainment lost to wrestling, or something to that
The pro
extent.
wrestling. Yeah.
Pro wrestling, and I apologize if I misquoted you, Michael Cole. But I thought that was very fitting. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better, because that's how I view Gunther. He's an old school. I'm going to get in this ring, and you're going to feel pain for 20 minutes to an hour, depending on how long the match is. If it's a 60-minute match, it's going to be pain. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be hard hitting. And he's going to make his impact. And I think for a lot of wrestlers, like a John Cena or like a AJ Styles, like Goldberg, we can toss him in there. I think they have a respect for that style of wrestling that is really not the method of which they, in which we see a lot today. We don't see that old school, just hard hitting brute force type of wrestling. Things are a little bit more entertaining, and I think that's what makes Gunther still that attractive, nostalgic taste of wrestling for those who probably are older, that used to watch wrestling back in the day. If they watch a Gunther match, they would say that's what wrestling was. That's how people wrestled back in my day. So yeah, I'm happy for Gunther, the position he's in, and I'm just glad to see that he's safe, because I was concerned that there might be some safety issues for Gunther. But I was happy to see that my man was safe, was able to make it on the WWE television screen last Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Cause it ain't honestly, the fact he came out on the bench, I said, okay,
Yeah,
all right, Gunther's good. He's good.
yeah,
Ain't nobody looking for him, and nobody's checking for him. And it wasn't as bad as it was the night before. So yeah, he was good. He was good. But let's talk about this whole next thing, man. Because flash forward right to good old the Usos, man, beating the New Day. I ain't gonna lie, this ain't nothing that we haven't seen before. So we're gonna keep on going. Flash forward to mommy and Io Sky, man. They came out. Okay, they came out together. Because the Kabuki Warriors were about to have a match. Okay, but that was surely lived. As soon as Oscar's right there, seems Rhea. I mean, man, what's going on here? Then all of a sudden you got Kyrie literally attacking Io. I mean, at that point, it just gets crazy. Okay, to the point to where they literally just beat the living hell out of Rhea and Io. I mean, man, it was insane. But then we flash forward to Maxine, okay, and Ivy now, man. Honestly, this was really interesting. It's actually a pretty good match. I'm not even gonna lie. Maxine actually did her thing. Ivy now, unfortunately, tapping out to Maxine Dupree, man. I ain't gonna lie, that one kind of hurt. That one kind of hurt. Then we flash forward. CM Punk. CM Punk, this was a little bit of a lengthy promo. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, he said a lot, he said a lot of personal stuff. Said anything about my wife. You want to talk about it down? I said, okay, I get it, CM Punk. I feel that. Of course, threw some shots at Braun Breakers, both, his dad and his uncle. I said, okay, all right, I feel that. I mean, this was good. Good personal promo. Had that passion. But hey, I still like what CM Punk was doing here. But again, let's kind of just get to it now. I feel like we I don't know why we're doing these I'm away promo, you're away promo, but even though like this time I feel like Braun Breaker should have been here. He definitely should have been here tonight. So that was he should have been there that night to have a face to face with Punk. So I thought that was a little strange. And then we flash forward. Ah, man. Man. Yeah. The match this was actually a really good match starting off. Stephanie Valkyrie going up against Raquel Rodriguez. And of course, Nikki Bella interfering, literally taking out Stephanie, taking out Raquel. I mean, this was insane. To the point to where now she's trying to declare she wants a title match. All this, that, and the third. Again, still got Nikki Bella fatigue, but this ain't bad. This ain't really that bad. Then we flash forward to the main event. Rey Mysterio going up against Logan Paul. And the crazy thing is about this whole thing, man. The brass knuckles. Paul Heyman trying to pass Logan Paul the brass knuckles. That does not go successful. Rey Mysterio is about to grab him, but all of a sudden, here comes the masked man. I said, you gotta be kidding me. To the point to where the masked man hits a curb stomp on Rey Mysterio, and good old Logan Paul, sneaking the win, hitting a frog splash on Rey Mysterio. And honestly, to the point where the masked man runs out. And who's the masked man? It's somebody, if you had a theory, you
Justin
guessed
Bieber.
it. I was about to say Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
You guessed it. It's a theory. Austin theory. Oh man. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not mad about this. But of course, some of us wanted to be, we wanted it to be Montez. What's up, BJ? How you doing, man? Good to see that
BJ,
you're
what's
on
up,
here with
man?
us, man. But yeah, and this is the finish right here. Now, a lot of people really talked about that whole last part with Austin Theory. They were saying no pop, no surprise. I mean, yeah, because everybody already guessed it the night after it happened. So if you were to had that reveal, that Survivor Series, the pop would have went crazy that night. But no, you don't strike when the iron's hot. But to be honest, we know who that masked man was originally that night. That was Taz. That was Taz that night. So Taz was tricks, man. Oh yeah, the crowd would have went crazy. Okay, that we know that was Taz. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the fact that this happened with Austin Theory, I'm okay with this. I like Austin Theory anyway. I think he's great. At the same time, the fact he ain't getting no pop, I don't think that's even his fault. That's not his fault. That's the crowd. That's the crowd. And that's not delivery neither. Because I mean, he delivered everything perfectly. But yeah, I mean, I put that on the crowd, man. I just sucks. That sucks for him. But yeah, again, also another thing. Got to talk about this whole Nikki Bella thing. Nikki Bella, what is this? What are we doing here with this? I really enjoyed the match with Stephanie McCare and Raquel Rodriguez, man. Oh, what is it today, man? Shout out to my man Zach. It is
My man,
National
Zach. National
Sangria.
Sangria Day.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I
Get your
don't drink,
sangrias
but
then.
yeah, but yeah.
National Sangria Day. Man, shout out to you, Zach. Always
Hey,
giving us the
hey, love the
national
pick. Love the new
holiday.
pick.
Hey.
Uh, very nice,
Okay,
Zach.
Zach. Hey, appreciate it as always, man. Giving us that national holiday, man. Yeah, but yeah, I was really enjoying that match with Cedric Vacquet and Raquel Rodriguez, man. I was really enjoying it, and I thought to myself, this is gonna be something good, something really fresh and new for the women's division. I mean, even with Maxine and Ivy now, I said, this is good. We're not relying on nostalgia, but then again, you throw Nikki Bella back into this mix. I'm like, come on, we don't need that. Just you kept doing. I don't even know. I don't even know. But just not Nikki, man. Just not Nikki. Can't deal with this. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of women. It's like, hell, you could have done no. Yeah, Natalia. Let Natty do something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, she's a little bit, but still, I'd rather her than Nikki Bella. Just not Nikki. I don't want to look nor touch. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
I mean, how far has she fallen? Where back in the day, Nikki Bella was all of the rave, and now you don't want to look or touch. It's diabolical work. Meanwhile, Santa, all I want for Christmas is a devil's kiss. But for the sake of time, let me talk about Austin Theory here for a second. Um, why I feel like WWE missed on this here. Um, I think I think the problem they were facing here when it came to Austin Theory was the fact that most people guessed right away who the masked man was. What I feel like the WWE should have done, or maybe could have done, was to continue the mystery behind it, and keep changing up the person that's coming out and doing, interfering in these matches with the curb stomp or Seth Rollins esque moves, and just to keep everybody still on their toes. Like we might have said, yeah, the first one was Austin Theory. We don't know who the second guy is. We don't know who the third guy is. Why is this masked man doing this? What involvement do they have? Do they have an alignment with the Vision, or is it something else? I know there's a lot of theories out there, and I want to give respect to who I got it from, maybe from WrestleMania or either Wrestle Talk, but they talked about it like linking it with Chris Jericho if Chris Jericho ever comes to the WWE, which I thought would have been a great thing, like a whole different entity involved in like interfering in the Visions matches and this bigger things at play type of thing, because Chris Jericho always makes an entrance, but um I say all that to say, like, I just wish that they did not reveal it so soon and give up on what they had going. I would have even liked to see the reveal take place if, in the event, he interfered and helped Braun Breaker win, the championship, and then we can do this like reveal of who this person is that's been interfering in all of these matches with CM Punk or whatever, or the Vision. So I don't know. I'm just a little torn about it because I really want it. And I think, like anything, it's mostly because of the fact that Austin Theory didn't get the pop and wasn't as well received as we would have expected. And so you kind of like, man, that's a miss. You wish they would have like saved that and kept it going in a different way. But it is what it is. Like I said, I think WWE had a tough decision here where they were like, well, everybody knows it's Austin Theory. How long do we keep going with this? Before it loses its luster, and we don't get what we want out of it. But now it's just more of a why. Like, okay, so is Austin Theory aligned with the Vision? Does he have anything to do with Paul Heyman? Is Paul Heyman behind this at all? He's been saying he has no idea who this person is or why they're interfering. I guess you can still with that storyline. I just feel like something bigger could have came out of this. Like I would have loved for like it to just have, and maybe keep it going until Seth returns. Like I don't know. It just because maybe could have been like I don't want to see
it in a lot of ways. Like
yeah, like
a lot of ways.
I don't know. I just feel like they had something with this and it just fizzled out so fast. So now it's like, all right, well, what do we do now? But that's just my little take on it. My little 2 cents. I just wish it would have won a little.
No, and then I feel like that's why I started laughing, because I feel like this is one of those things where we're just like, y'all could have had something. We're just y'all just like, yeah, you know what? That's it.
Yeah.
It's either you strike, you could have struck as soon as it happened, or since you didn't let it happen, didn't do it right then and there.
Yeah.
You dragged it for literally 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And said, yep, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, even if it was some involvement with
potential.
Seth, Seth, like, look, I'm gonna keep building him up until I return and take him down. Like I've been, involved and sending this out and controlling this until I can get back and just burn it all down. But I don't know. I I just really wish they would have continued this like a little bit longer. They could have kept switching out wrestlers with for the mass person. And just kept going with it. But it is what it is. It's like anything with WWE. Sometimes you feel like they have something, they're going somewhere with it, and then it fizzles out. I think about Bailey with this for weeks. She was doing that whole personality thing, and
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah, and then that kind of just fizzled out. So yeah, I
smacking
don't know.
each other.
Yeah, I just hated this for Austin Theory just because his return I thought would have been better received. I really did.
Yeah, and he was kind of already getting momentum before he got injured, so it was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it's just crazy, man. I don't know. Yeah, it's sad. It really is, but we'll see what happens with it. It's anything could happen. By Monday, could be looking at one of those things. He might cut a fire promo, change the whole way it goes. So
yeah, yeah,
and he's always been good on the mic. So
yeah,
I think he'll deliver and give us a banger for
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
for
I agree.
sure. Yeah. But we talked about a few things with Monday Night Raw. Now it is time to talk about that man, Sean, cooking it up on NXT, baby. Man, NXT. NXT. Look, I ain't even gonna lie. NXT was a little crazy starting off. All right. I ain't gonna lie to might have to talk about this for a little second real quick. We have to talk about this first match. Cause I said what?
Mistakes were made.
And everybody kept saying whose fault is everybody's fault. Everybody. Look, Thea Hail. Thea Hail beating Blake Monroe for the NXT title. What? What? You
Mistakes were made.
Us. Just 1 minute. Oh,
You gotta be
I
kidding
never
me.
thought.
like what? What is going on here? Thea Hale knocking the wind out of Blake Monroe. And even when you look at the pin, it was just kind of like I was like, damn, Thea, you gotta let Blake like kind of get herself set up. And Blake's arm was kind of shoved in like when she was pinned down, so she couldn't move. Soon as that three comes up, after Blake hand go up, too late. Ref can't do nothing because you gotta count to three. If you don't, you're gonna get that fine. And you're gonna have to pay it. And we know how that go. And you did that the last time. That same ref did that with Oba and that match with Oba and what's my name? Jasper Troy. That's the same ref. Say, oh, this don't look good for you, bro. This ain't good. This is the second one this year for you, bro. Ain't good. Ain't good. Look, I ain't trying to put nobody job on them. I'm just saying, gotta tighten up. You cannot. Somebody. I put it on Thea too. What are you doing? Come on now. Come on now. We better than this. Blake. You've been in there with the timeless one. You know better than anybody. You don't do nothing like this. It's all good. I feel like they played into this well. But for all I know, the way they kind of played this, I was like, maybe this wasn't a botch. Maybe this is a work. Because even the way how they played it off, like later on, I was like, okay, we might have something. We might have something with this. But you know, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and flash forward to this next thing. But before we do that, Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts? What you think about this whole situation with your girl Blake and Thea?
I mean, it was pretty obvious that it was a botched finish, and I don't think they knew exactly what to do right away. I still remember, Booker T's reaction, like what is it? What happened? Like what's going on? Like you could just tell they knew that it was not supposed to end this way. And that long pause of just everybody looking around trying to figure out, do we actually ring the bell? Do we award it to him? Do we try to come up with something real quick? Like maybe she got her shoulder up just in time to, upon referee review or something like that. From, it just, and it kind of just took away. But I thought that they regrouped and Thea Hail played it off well, holding the title and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean,
she sold that.
It was, and it was obvious that something had happened to Blake on that last move, like that backdrop from off the ropes. And I know we said like got the wind knocked out of her, but then it was like that in combination of the weird way that she was pinned as well. Like it was no room for her arms to be able to wiggle free. And plus, and so by the time she got it up and then her arm came up, it was so lazy. It was like, like what is happening here? Yeah, I don't know, but I guess, stuff like this can be good in the sense that it can cause the creative team to come up with something centered around this or centered around Thea Hail now, or whatever, you want to see something new, something different, see them adjust on the fly, call it audible, and see what storyline comes out of this, which could be a good thing. Like I said, I feel for everybody involved because, I'm sure there was some pissed off people backstage about how that happened, but it's okay. These things happen. We've seen something close like that with Damian Priest at one point. I think earlier, was it late last year? Well, when he almost failed to kick out on a 3 count.
Yeah,
practically did fail to kick out on a 3 count, but they didn't. Where? Well, I mean, I actually can't say. I'm gonna say where was Vince McMahon coming out here like when John Cena and what's the name?
For the Royal Rumble.
For the Royal Rumble messed up.
When Batista and John Cena threw each other out.
My man tore both hamstrings, or was it his quad? Whatever it was.
Both of his quads.
Both of his quads, and could not stand up. I'm like, my man. Just against her. Hey, that's just crazy work. That's how pissed he was. He was walking and stepping that hard. He tore both of them. But I mean, it is what it is. It happens. Like I said, I'm sure they'll find a way to make it right within the next week or
2. Yeah, man, definitely. They'll be good. Let me flash forward. Let's see. Man, Ethan Page and Stacks with Ariana. Hey, this is actually good. I actually really like this. But the interesting thing, Stacks, again, another NXT wrestler with a TNA champion, the international champion, okay? And he tells Ethan Page he needs more gold. But who comes out? Who? Moose. Man, that man, Moose, man, comes out and he tells Ethan Page that he wants that North American title to bring it home to TNA, and that it's time. I said, yeah, man, this is about to get nice. Moose. Literally, this is about to be dope. But then we flash forward. I ain't gonna lie. This was actually pretty crazy. Hank and Tank beating OTM. Those boys came back from Japan, and I mean, somehow, some way, they done beat OTM. And honestly, I'm surprised. But you know what? We'll see what happens with those guys. I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to seeing more from OTM more than anything. That's, but we'll see. Then we flash forward. Ricky Saints. Man, I ain't even gonna lie. A lot of people kept trying to say he looked like somebody. They kept trying to say he was trying to walk like somebody. I ain't getting no chills from it, but I think I know exactly who the hell they was talking about. Yeah, man. They trying to say Ricky is looking like Rock. I said, man, y'all better chill out. I don't know about that. I don't know yet. I don't know. I mean, the promo that he cut though, Hail Ricky. I said, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You can do it regardless. I mean, he been doing this, but we'll see what happens with it, man. Look, Ricky, he did his thing, but Javon. My man Javon, man, look, came out there, tried to clear house, tried to do his thing. Security really getting in the way. Ricky getting the upper hand, hitting that man. Come on, putting Javon through the table. I don't know whose candy that was. Then I would have said that was Booker, but Booker on the right. So my question is, why is Vic Joseph eating candy during the show? Sir, you're the main commentator. What are you doing? Anyway, just noticed that on the floor, and I said, man, that is a lot of candy just sitting there. But then we flash forward to this situation in the back. Look, So Ruka, of course, you see who she's with, Zaria. Okay. Anyway, but you see Chelsea Green with Ethan Page, so getting an opportunity for that United States champion. Now, look, I ain't gonna lie. We know about somebody else getting the United States champion, apparently. But that being said, will Sol Ruka be that next one? See what happens with that. Then we flash forward. Man, look, Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair beating Fallon Haley. Okay. And Laney Reed. Look, this was actually a good match. Kendall Gray making Fallon Haley tap. I thought this was a really good match. Ren Sinclair again, that girl has been cooking. They've both been cooking together. So this is a really good match again. Then we flash forward. Thea Hail cutting a promo first, talking about how, she can't believe it. She's so surprised. She's so happy. Jordan Grace telling her, hey, look, there's a certain time you got to be for certain people. I say, man, look, come on, Jordan. I get it. Here goes Blake Monroe trying to say she's coming back for her title. She will have that back. She said it's the ref's fault. I say, yeah, you're right. You damn right it's the ref's fault. Blake, we know whose fault it is. But it's still y'all's fault, too. So I don't know what we're talking about when it comes to that. Then we flash forward. Man, to the main event. Leon Slater, man, winning that fatal four-way match for the opportunity. The ruler, Oba, Femi. Okay. Who? Honestly, seeing Leon Slater damn near won this match with one leg, coming out, getting the dub. And this is the finish right here. Yeah, a little bit after that, of course, the ruler came out, showed the title, nothing too crazy, and credits came around, but it's the ruler. Dun, 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 dun. Ah. Nah, man. But yeah, this was another great episode of NXT. The fact, again, I think the biggest, what the hell was, of course, the whole Thea Hail situation. But I like how they kind of turned that around. They did some, and they brought my girl, Jordan Grayson, to the mix. Honestly, if we're doing that, put the title on her. You don't give her NXT main title. Give her that at least. Something before she goes to the main roster. Don't get me wrong, man. I love Jordan Grace. I just hate the fact that this is what they doing to her. Man, that used to be Big Mama Pomp. People don't understand, man. That one, man, the juggernaut. I like the new thing she's doing right now. It's kind of cool. It's a little bit more. It's not toned down, but she's got a little bit more chill. Someone's like she's more philosophical with it, and I like this more sophisticated side of Jordan Grace. I'm like, okay, Jordan, I feel this, but at the same time, man, it's like we don't get to see her in the ring that much anymore. So it kind of just sucks, man. And I don't know. We got to see more. Like I said, I've been saying this when it comes to that women's mid-card title, that mid-card division, there's so much potential that we can be doing with a lot of these women and utilizing them to their full potential. Do something with them. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with, at least when it comes to Jordan Grace. I would have thought by now she would have had some type of championship run in NXT just because of the caliber wrestler she is. But every time she goes for a title, it doesn't seem to work out in her favor. Something that I just want to touch on just a little bit that I'm gonna say it kind of bothers me just a little bit. And
Mhm.
it's is the idea of like all of the titles from these different companies, TNA and AAA, they're all around the shoulders of all WWE talent. And I don't think WWE has lost a title to any other company that they're in partnership with. Like the lost their North American title to a TNA wrestler or lost a one of their other titles to like a AAA wrestler. And I know many will say, well, WWE is the bigger promotion and it's the bigger brand, but that's all the more to my point of they don't need to do this. They don't have to take the titles from the smaller promotion because it's not doing anything for WWE per se. And the fact that they're not really putting those titles on the line on WWE television or PLEs doesn't really do anything for it. Now you're just walking around with an extra belt, and so it's a little annoying in a way that's the way that they're doing it. They've scooped in, just taking titles from each of these smaller promotions, and and it's just I don't know, because Dirty Dom has the main title, and then
The
you have
Triple A. Yep.
yeah, and then you have Ethan
Stacks with
Page
with the
and
TNA
yeah,
International Champion.
yeah, so it's just I don't know. It's so like what are these main promotions or the minor promotions like? What are they marketing? They don't have their own titles on their television. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's something I feel like WWE needs to do better at. I think they can do a storyline around stuff like this with one of their titles being crossing over into TNA or into AAA or whatever. And I think that will give the smaller promotions that extra push. It's like, hey, somebody in TNA has a WWE title that they're trying to get back, or AAA, someone in AAA has a WWE title, and they're trying to get back versus what they're doing now. Because like, do you ever really see Chelsea Green defending her title, her AAA title on like television? Her and Ethan Page? No,
Yeah, no,
uh,
not at all.
yeah, so like just leave it with AAA. But outside of that, I do like Ethan Page and this combination of Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. I think that they're perfect, together. Because they both have that similar like. Well, Ethan has the more of the arrogant, face you just want to punch, but Chelsea has the ditzy but yet funny and just like something about her delivery of stuff just makes her cool, and you're putting these two together. I think like it's gold what they had there, and so I'm always kind of happy to see when the two are together, talking and doing their promoting. I'm happy for this opportunity here with Sol Ruka, another maybe another chance to snatch somebody's soul, and maybe for a title. This would be great. But Zarya, man, we have got to get to the point of like what is going to happen with Zarya. She needs to be able to be out here and standing on her own 2 feet. Like the time has come, and probably gone, but it has at least come for her to kind of be out here and standing on her own 2 feet. And they could be doing something with Zarya outside of just kind of keeping her paired with Soul. And then lastly, Ricky Saints. I'm liking the whole character twist and seeing this side of Ricky Saints and him going full heel. I think this is going to be great for his element and what what he's capable of doing, especially on the mic. And we're going to see how this pays off. And my last but not least factor is they had at the very end of NXT where Slater is looking at Oba, but it pans up and the Don is in the rafters behind it all, like overwatching everything. And I don't know exactly what they're doing, and where they're going with the Don's character just yet, because we really haven't seen him say much since his return. But I'm liking the mystique of it all. Like why is he here? Who is he after? What feud is he getting ready to get involved in? And we know that he's one of the few people that has been able to beat, Oba Femi, Oba Fear Me. And so, and so I think when it's time to drop the main title, he could be another good main factor to kind of throw in there for this, because I'm assuming it's not going to be Javon Evans before he's up on the main roster. They just keep hinting at that. Even he had a backstage promo, I believe, Was it with? I'm trying to think. Was it with Nick Aldis where he said, you're performing well. Keep it up. 'Cause, we have our eyes on you for talent on this, on the main roster or whatever.
Oh
I think that
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
yeah, like I think that was last Friday or whatever. So it's like I don't know how much longer Javon is going to be in NXT, and then the fact that they kind of put him against Over so quickly after winning, like I felt like that was a squash, and like I didn't get to talk about it last week, but just a squash match. I don't know if I like the fact that they kind of just threw that away. I know Ricky Saints interfered, but it was like Javon, if he was ever going to win an NXT title, he could have saved that for a better time to kind of have his opportunity. But I figured like if he's not going to get if he's going to be going to the main roster soon, they had to just kind of get that over with. But
Yeah.
outside of that, the Don is who I wanted to talk about. I'm excited to see him back on television. I can't wait to see what the Don does. I can't wait for him to leave the body and take the cannoli. But it's coming. It's coming, and I like it.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be really good to see what the Don's gonna be doing, man. It's good to see Tony D'Angelo back. And of course,
Indeed.
we don't got the whole family, but I mean, we're gonna see the Don low key. Adriana Rizzo. I need to see her come back around.
Yeah.
I need to see her be. Hey Don, I need.
Don. Yeah. She's perfect in it. And like that character, that role, even the way she talks, I mean, it's all perfect. It's all great. I hated to see that it come to an end the way that it did because I thought they had something great with the family.
Yeah, man. I thought they had something really good with that. I was like, let's have this on the main roster now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I could have been could have put up against, MFTs or a wide
Yep.
six or something.
MFTs, a Wyatt. Yep. Wyatt 6. I mean, they did. They were cooking for a minute. They even the backstage segments of like giving a readout on all the talent or people that they have,
Yeah.
issues with. Like, I mean, because that's just how you do it. You're the Don. You're in charge of a territory, and so you're always keeping tabs on who your enemies are. You keep your enemies close. And I love that. I love that they was doing that. And then it just, I don't know, they just decided to go away from it. I don't know why WWE does some of the things they do. It's like they'll be on a great path and then they just swerve off. I don't know. They just lose themselves, man.
Yeah, man. I was like, nah, this was one I was like, you keep this one around for years. Like
Keep it a while. Oh, you keep it
the
around for a while.
yeah, like the Don, the merch y'all could have sold.
Mhm.
Imagine. Could
Yeah.
have went crazy with the shirts. That's all good. But we talked about some of the great things that happened with NXT and that man Sean cooking it up with NXT. Now it's time to talk about the best part of the end of the week, Friday Night SmackDown. I ain't gonna lie, man. SmackDown wasn't bad. Now, I will say, I think last week's SmackDown was better. And I cannot wait to see what happens on next week's SmackDown because that's the one I'm excited to see for multiple reasons. Not gonna spoil it for y'all if y'all don't know, but if you do know, just know it finally happened. And I definitely said something about that last week. And I was like, I thought it was gonna happen. I didn't think it was gonna happen that soon. But I might talk about it later. We'll see. We'll see. But they kicked off this episode, first of all. Okay, Damian Priest, Aleister Black. Okay, Aleister Black putting Damian Priest through that table. Okay, to the point to where after the commercial, Damian Priest walking in the back, Aleister Black attacks Damian Priest backstage. You know how Selena is, telling everybody to back up, get out of the way, do all this at the third. Aleister Black hitting that black mask on Damian Priest. I ain't gonna lie, Damian sold that joint. Okay, to the point. I mean, knocked him right into that whole that whole little cover right there. I said, ooh, that was nasty. It was tough. This was really good though. Then we flash forward. Come on, this is what I really enjoyed seeing right here. Nia Jax and Lash Legend beating the Kabuki Warriors. I said you just beat the tag champs. Come on. I just wish it was for the titles right then and there because Lash could have had some under her belt already. But let's do this. Let's get these titles on Nia and Lash right now. But Charlotte and Alexa Bliss came out, okay, starting to beat the hell out of Lash and Nia and Asuka and Kyrie. I mean, I said, damn, I ain't never. I mean, you want to talk about Super Cena? They did that, okay. I mean, this was really good to see from the women's tag team division. I thought this was really, really good. But again, honestly, I need to see Lash and Nia with those titles. Then we flash forward, and Julia beating Elba Fire. Now, this was actually another good match before this. Okay. Kiana James was sitting there telling Chelsea Green pretty much how Julia still hasn't had her rematch, and we haven't seen Julia since her loss to Chelsea Green. And honestly, Julia's looking at looking right at Chelsea Green to let her know she's coming back for that title. And I said to myself, well, man, this might be really, really good. You have Soul Ruka trying to compete for it. And then now you got Julia, triple threat, or honestly, Soul and Julia. I'm for it either way. Then we flash forward to good old Nick Aldis, man, telling Cody Rhodes that Drew will come back on his terms. Cody says he does not care. He'll pay the fine. Nick Aldis tells Cody, if you don't, if you pay the fine and Drew comes back, if you touch him, I will have to strip you from your title. He said, you're not above the law. I don't know what you're thinking. Cody said, I am above the law. I work for the people. You work for me. And it's a done deal. I said, all right, Cody, let's see what you're doing here. Then we flash forward. Man, man. Look, Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov, okay, beating DIY in a tag team match. Now, again, the crowd was popping and going crazy for my man Mello. And this was a great sight to see. Honestly, I am proud to see this because, again, I'm going to talk about something that happens on the next week because it was a pre taping and it's already been spoiled. I don't even care. I got to talk about this. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I can't wait to talk about my man Mello, man. This is exciting to hear. Then we flash forward, something a little interesting. Jade Cargill, okay, talking about how she attacked Meechin, how, she thought Meechin would have been a little bit tougher than that. But then Meechin coming from behind and attacking Jade Cargill with a kendo stick. She said, Meechin said, you must have forgot who the real HBIC was. I said, man, you better stop playing, Meechin. I was happy about this. I was happy. I thought to myself, Meechin, this is what we was talking about for you a while back. Now this is good. You know what? If we're putting Meechin in this kind of title match, I'm for it. And this is something we're putting for a storyline for Meechin. It's about damn time. It's about time. I mean, we know Meechin might.
Yes, sir.
Come on now. Even if y'all don't even give her the title, I'm glad y'all are doing something with her, and she deserves this kind of storyline because she
Absolutely,
can
she
do
does.
this. She does. Shoot. Then we flash forward to the chaos with this, man. Look, the MFT is going up against with the Y6, and you know what happened with that? Didn't even the match didn't even end with a pinfall or a submission, and ended in a no contest with intense chaos, going crazy. I mean, honestly, the Y6 going insane to the point where you had this man. I mean, honestly, it just didn't get any better. Okay. Uncle Howdy literally about to hit the Sister Abigail solo, but the chaos still continues and it still goes crazy. And this is the finish right here. Now, few great things got to talk about with this. I was proud. I was very proud to see, first of all, Carmelo again, the crowd popping and going crazy for my man. I said, this is how we gonna do this. Now, if y'all have not seen from the spoilers, it's a spoiler. Don't even matter. You better blame the person that recorded it because at this point, if I seen it, we all seen it.
Hey, here's a quick 10 seconds to pull away. All right, your time is up.
That's it. That's it. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you do not know, Carmelo Hayes is now the new United States champion. Yes, 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 it is correct. It is confirmed. Melo has won that U.S. title and has beaten Ilya Dragunov. Now, I am hoping that this does continue with the U.S. Open Challenge and Melo continues to show off how great he is on the mic and in the ring. Because honestly, I can see Melo cutting promos right before, defending the title and being done, or even after. You know what I'm saying? Melo can do that. Melo can do that. And it's about time. All right, now, Triple H, Trip, this is good. This is finally good. Now, don't you squander this. We done waited all this time. You got him in the perfect spot where you need him at. The crowd loves him. The crowd's popping. You gave him the title when you needed to. Now, get him some good storylines. You got good guys in that mid card. You got some heels. You can put him up against a Drew McIntyre. You can put him up against obviously a Bronson Reed. You can put him up against some big guys. Pause. Small guys. Doesn't matter. You see what he did against DIY. All right. Don't keep running the same matches over and over to where people getting tired of my man Mello, because you know how the WWE fans can get sometimes. They can be fickle. So let's keep my man Mello going and going crazy. All right? 6-7, let's get it. Okay? All right? That's good. Now, last thing I got to talk about, Meechin and Jade Cargill. I thought this was really good. I said, again, seeing Meechin finally in some kind of title picture or some kind of storyline with the main title, I said, this is good. This is good. Last week when she got a little woman handled, I was about to say man handled, but when she got woman handled by Jade last week, I said, damn, nah, Meechin. Because I didn't really think they was gonna do nothing after that. But the fact that she came back next week, with the kendo stick, and people said, man, how did they want to add the little sound effect? I was like, maybe they did, but maybe that was just the kendo stick sound effect itself. Who knows? So I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, it was still a great segment. I loved it. But the fact that Meech is saying, you must have forgot who the real HBIC was. I said, come on. The head baddie in charge. The head baddie. I said, come on. Kay said she looking for baddies. Meech just said, I'm right here. What you looking for? I loved it. I loved every single second of it. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, I concur. I'm a fan of Meechin, and I'm just glad to see the WWE has given her the opportunity to be in this spotlight, and be able to have this kind of feud with Jade. I think it means big things it could be big things for Meechin, especially if she could deliver and her and Jade can deliver together, with Meechin being able to perform in front of these crowds. Because I seriously thought Meechin was kind of well on her way, especially when she had the feud with Nia Jax and the matches and stuff they put together toward the end of last year, and earlier this year, I believe. It kind of fizzled out a little bit, and I thought we were going to go to tag team route with Meechin, and that kind of fizzled out. But this right here could be good for Meechin. I like it. I like the fact that she's going to have this opportunity with Jade. We're going to be able to see Jade, have more reps as the WWE Women's Champion, and so that's going to be a good thing. So all around, I think this is a win here. My favorite segment, of course, is my two girls, Lash Legend and Nia Jax. I love those ladies. That destroyer off the rope. I said, that's a whole lot of fine woman there. You ain't getting up from that, boy. But yeah, I love it. I love the outfits they had. I like the attitude they had with their backstage interview. The snap they gave them at the same time. You could just tell that they're on the same page and they are just meant to be like together in this. And I think this is a great way to get Lash Legend's WWE career just off to a good start. And I would love to see these ladies win the tag team gold for the women's division, because I do think that they have just really done a good job making the tag team belts for the women's division relevant again, and having these feuds between the Kabuki Warriors and Charlotte and Alexa, and now you got Lash Legends and Nia Jax involved, and it feels good. It feels right. Um, having these teams, fight together for something like the tag team title belts. And so yeah, I think they're doing a great job there. Love to see it. And then lastly, just I want to talk about Uncle Howdy, the Wyatt Six. You know, I don't know. Again, WWE is in a weird position with them. I thought when they brought this group back, the way that they did it and they structured it, I thought was really good with the whole taking the camera behind the curtains, people laid out, blood all over the place, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Chad Gable, yeah.
Chad Gable. Hey man, I miss you, Chad. I like, please, get well and get
James
back on
Brown.
television soon. I mean, I do. I miss Chad Gable. I thought he was great and great for these shows. And I have missed him being on SmackDown. So I hope we get to see him soon. I'm thinking it's probably gonna be Royal Rumble time frame where we'll probably finally see him again, which will be great. But when it comes to the Wyatt Six, I just wish the WWE, I think they have something with the Wyatt Six. I just wish they would do more with them. Like Uncle Howdy should have been in some good storyline right now for some type of championship. They got the tag team titles, but we never really see them doing anything with it. So it's like, why even take them off the profits if this is the case? They're just sitting on a team that we rarely see. And then as of the last couple of weeks, they pop up in the background, but the last couple of weeks, they have kind of had the Wyatt Six featured a little bit, but I just feel like I just can't help the feeling that there's more to this. Like they could do more with this and Uncle Howdy, because when they do actually show up, I think they actually do a really good job. I think they do Uncle Howdy does great on the mic with his deliveries and things of that nature. It still gives me that old feel from the Wyatts, the Wyatt family, and it just, I don't know. I guess I want to see more from the Wyatt Six. I feel like they could do more with them, and I just don't know why the WWE chooses not to really use them and feature them, more often than not. Just because Bray Wyatt was so great, the whole gimmick, the whole setup for it, the whole lore behind it, all of it, they already have in the playbook, and then you have his brother kind of carrying on this legacy as Uncle Howdy, and I feel like I'd like to see like Uncle Howdy with a different mask that's kind of like a throwback to Wyatt, like a reminder of Wyatt, but fighting for like the WWE championship, because that's what his brother carried when he was around and as Bray Wyatt, even though I still think the WWE fumbled that with him because he should have had longer title reigns than what he did, but they just kept kind of going away from it. It's like it was drawing people were into it, but like the WWE just seemed like really afraid to like buy into it and market it. And for whatever reason, and I think they had the same thing going down with the Wyatt Six, where I think they have gold, they just don't really know how to market it. And I think people would be behind it if they could just put them in a great storyline, and especially Uncle Howdy. And I feel like there's something there, but because they don't do it well, I think the crowd just doesn't really get behind it 100%. So I don't know. I just, again, I feel like I always keep saying this with WWE. I just feel like they had the pieces. I don't know. They just not creative is just not creative enough, to do something with the stuff that they have and the talent that they have. Like I said, they'll start down the path and they'll be going the right way, and then all of a sudden it's like, for whatever reasons, they decide to either pull back. And Austin Theory being another one this week that was just a miss.
Yeah, man. This sometimes it don't make no damn sense, man. But I mean, they
I'm sorry.
Things right. No,
and like, and I'm thinking about like the time and effort they put into what they did with Cody and Drew. This whole filming thing they did outside of WWE, like. On the one hand, I was like, you know what, this is cool because WWE really don't do stories like this anymore, where it's like, this story is bleeding into reality, kind of, for
Yeah.
lack of a better word,
Yeah.
like like where like this man is showing up at his house and Drew really sold it like, you set me up. This is my house. He's here at my house. If you don't fix this, I kind of like that. But then when it got to the actual nitty gritty of them fighting, it was a little like, all right, this is a little staged, like too far staged. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of missing a little bit. Like I thought just the initial sell of like Cody being there, maybe them arguing, fussing, or whatever, and them just holding them back and it ended there. That might have kept it, but when they started fighting and everything, it's like, it's a little much. And I don't know if people really are really gonna like buy into this feud, any further from just from seeing this or whatever. But at least I wanted to give them credit for either going for even going that route. And I wish they did more like this, where they have these feuds and they try to make stories and think outside the box with these stories of just kind of having them bleed into like reality just a little bit. But I don't know. It's one of these things where even with that, right? You know, I don't know how that was received. And I don't know if it's because it's Cody and Drew. And the reality of it is, it's like, yeah, we like Drew, we like Cody, but is Drew really going to beat Cody for this championship before WrestleMania? I don't know. So it's like it's kind of hard to really get invested in it because it's like this is great and all, but he's doing this for no reason because I don't see them taking the belt off Cody. And that's another problem that I think it just keeps compounding on itself when it comes to this stuff because it's like, Cody's the champion. He's going to be the draw. He's going to be who they center WrestleMania around. Don't see it being Drew. So why I really get invested in this?
Yeah.
And it's just difficult. It's difficult, and it sucks for Drew because I think Drew is really good. And I think his heel performance for this entire year has been great. And it would be nice to have that, oh my gosh, they swerved us. There is a title change, but you just don't see that being the case. They're going to play it safe. And I think Cody is the safe draw.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely is.
Hey, Top Class, thanks for joining us. Top Class says everything Cody
Appreciate
does
it.
looks staged. And I can't really argue against that because I mean it does. It just I feel like the WWE realizes that I don't want to say Cody is stale, but it's like they're not really prepared to have anybody else in those shoes. If it's not Roman
Yeah.
Reigns, they really don't have anybody else in the shoe in those shoes that can really carry the brand right now. They have not done a good job building up other stars to that level of like, we need you to wear the undisputed heavyweight championship and carry the brand. And that's why I think so many people are like, we really just want Cody to be heel. We want him to go heel because we want to see the good guy gimmick it's become very stale. The last real champion is no more. We saw him tap. And so it's like, but who else can carry and be a draw for WrestleMania? Like, who else could you put the belt on, the undisputed championship on, and they're going to draw eyes to WrestleMania? I can't really think of a name big enough right now that you can use. Seth is out. Roman, the story probably is going to be centered around him fighting to get it back. So it's going to be a Cody, probably Roman part 3. And
Yeah.
CM Punk already has the other title. I think this is the problem with having just like 3 or 4 main people that have the belt, all the time. And there's no real story around anybody else that has raised their talent to that level. I mean, you have LA Knight, but WWE really just doesn't want to go that route just yet. I don't know why, but yeah. And so you just know Cody's not losing the belt, so it's really hard to get involved to really be invested in any of his matches for the title because it's like, well, we know who's winning, So
Yeah. That's really what it is, man. It sucks, man. It really does.
It does. And it's nothing against Cody. Cody's still doing his thing.
Yeah.
The crowd still loves him. It's just, I don't know.
No, yeah,
It's just that there's just something
he
missing.
needs
It's just
something new. He needs something
yeah.
new. He
He
really
needs
does.
something new. He needs like that's why I was like his match last week with Obafemi was phenomenal. It was somebody new. It was like he got the Oba got the show out and like I felt like they did a great job building Oba and selling Oba in that match. And you like he could literally be legit to get in this ring and be the guy. But it's like he's not on the main roster. Who else on the main roster can you say that about? Like, who do you feel can do it right now? Like, if you had to pick a person right now, E, who do you think it is? Like, who outside of Cody, like to take the belt from Cody and carry WWE SmackDown forward into WrestleMania?
I'm gonna tell you, I think Drew could be the one. I think Drew McIntyre could be the one. But it's either between Drew McIntyre and I would say if they ever really did LA Knight, those would probably be the only two.
Yeah.
But
That's sad when you
Drew
think
needs
about,
to.
and that's sad to me when you think about all the talent WWE has on their roster. It's still like the same 5 or 6 names, like CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Gunther. I can't forget the ring general.
Yeah. And it's like
you know.
I can't go to the NXT roster yet because none of those guys have made it up there yet. Even
And
though they built their stardom there too.
And the funny thing is, outside of LA Knight, who has yet to win it, the belt has circulated around those names the entire time for like the last 3, 4, 5 years. It's crazy. So I don't know.
It's really sad. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. We just gotta hope. But you know how it is. If we don't get nothing good from there.
Cody's promo was too I'm sorry, top class says Cody's promo was too obvious. We're gonna get a swerve somewhere.
Oh yeah. I feel that top class.
Top class, I feel like that would be huge for WWE, and it would probably drive some type of excitement is to have a swerve like out of nowhere. This happened type of thing. But with WrestleMania so close and I'm trying to sell things for Vegas and set up everything for Vegas, I just don't know if Triple H and the team will be willing to take that risk because we're talking about tickets that are $15,000, $20,000. And you're trying to get people to continue to spend those types of prices to watch, wrestling entertainment. So you got to have they have to, for business, do a safe draw. Like Cody and Roman is a safe draw. People love Roman Reigns. Like he is the OTC. He still gets the crowd pop, the draw. Yeah, like all of that. So you have to have that. And I don't know if it's too late to start a Roman Reigns versus a Drew McIntyre feud to set up into WrestleMania.
Even though that could cook.
Even though it could cook, but it's like for the last 3 WrestleManias or 2 WrestleManias, the big thing was around Cody and Roman. And so, like I said, when you asking those types of ticket prices, I think it's just hard to really say, well, we'll try this and see if this sells, because if you put the belt on Drew McIntyre and you don't have a good story between him and Roman or him and Cody, whoever's going for it, $20,000 is a lot of money to ask for to sit down in the ring. Sit down in an arena to watch wrestling entertainment.
Because it's all about the gates and how you pay them.
It's all about the gates and how you pay it. That's the problem. That is the problem. But I feel like people will still pay to see Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns again for a 3rd time, because this time we're hoping that Roman Reigns reclaims his gold and become the tribal chief, leader again of the WWE, for another extended period of time, I guess, but
yeah,
we'll see. Now, my thing is with CM Punk, I just don't know what match you build for CM Punk. Is it LA Knight?
I don't know if it's the Braun Breaker thing too.
Is it Braun Breaker? Like that's the other match that I'm thinking about. Like, all right, so CM Punk has the belt. He'll be a decent draw, of course. Everybody still loves CM Punk, but who do you put against him? In that position. That's why I feel like it'd be a LA Knight will probably be a good choice for the winner of the Royal Rumble this year, just because of the rumors correct of 2026 being LA Knight's year. This is how you start it.
Yeah. So
and then promo for promo, these two can go at it. Because we know how deadly CM Punk is on the mic, and we know LA Knight can go as well. So you can set some good battles up, have some good promo work to really help build up the anticipation for it. And everybody wants to see LA Knight win a championship or have the title. And so WrestleMania might be a good opportunity for him to be able to have that moment,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so. Dummy. Yeah.
Which would be great. Which would be great to have LA Knight in a heel run going up to leading into WrestleMania. Like turn him heel, and just that way you can have the face of CM Punk and you can have the heel thing of LA Knight. That would be great. Which Montez Ford was in the vision.
Yeah, and that would have been crazy.
It's sad with it. It's criminal what they've done to Montez Ford and Dawkins. I haven't seen them on television at all. What are they doing? What's happening? Why are they not why are they in catering? What's happening, Triple H? How can you not find a reason or a way to get these guys on television? It's the Profits. They're up. We love the Profits. I don't understand how you could just this has been months now. We haven't seen them in a match. So
yeah, you know what? They better team them up with Mello or something. I don't know. They need to do something with them because this is ridiculous. Yeah. But we're so happy for Mello. Still happy for you, Mello. Get that dub, get that chip. It's all about championships and checks, baby.
One last thing I know before we go.
Yeah.
When did it turn? When did the tide turn and the crowd really start getting behind Carmelo Hayes?
So that match he had in Boston when it was in his hometown, and that was that match was with him and the Miz and stuff and everything. Yeah, that's when it started happening. Right from there.
Because for a minute, I mean, Hayes, him, he was doing his thing, not the entire time, but I know they had him and Andrade. He had his feud with Andrade, then he paired him with the Miz and all that kind of stuff. But I know Boston, but the fact that has carried over with every town since then, it's what was the turning point for everybody to say, you know what, we really do like Carmelo. We really do like this guy. We're really behind him. I can't quite put my finger on it. I'm not saying I love it for him. I love it for him. But the fact that energy carried, because in Boston, I'm it's expected. It's his hometown. I expect that. But the love he's getting, I'm really happy for him. And the fact that it's carrying over like this to eventually leading to him being the U.S. champion. It's how did he get over? What and what about the crowd being behind him did Triple H look at and say, okay, we're gonna crown him champion? But the crowd being behind the Profits, and we can't even get them on a PLE show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyhow, all right. That's just something to think about for me anyway.
Mel to win the Rumble? Hey, I don't know, Top Class. I wouldn't be mad about that neither. I wouldn't be mad. But LA Knight, they said it might be his year. So
I think the WWE has to use 2026 to start building some next main players, because, like I said, everybody else, I want to see other people competing for the championship besides the same safe seven.
Yeah, honestly, but if Melo wants to win the Rumble, hell yeah, let's get it. I'm all for it. But as always, please make sure y'all follow all of our social medias. I tell y'all this all the time. You already know what it is. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we on that. TikTok, we're on that as well. Hey, appreciate all the love and support, guys. We're looking at 230 subscribers. Hey, if we can, let's get to 250 before the year's over.
250.
Right? Okay. Y'all been going crazy, loving the shorts. Shout out to my man BJ. We've been having him on Nighttime the last couple of weeks. Shout out to my man Top Class.
Hey, we appreciate you too, Top Class.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
you for popping in with us today.
Yeah. Shout out to, of course, Zach, always giving us the national holiday as always. Shout out to my people on TikTok, all my family out there. Heals for Life, Chris, Ladybug, 13, OB Dub, Saint, okay. My man BJ, of course. Everybody on there, showing the love and support out there. We always appreciate it. Not Bland as well. All you guys.
Yep.
Godfather. Shout out to you too as well, man. look, I appreciate every single one of you guys, honestly, and we're looking really good on TikTok as well. Looking at about what, almost 570 followers. So yeah, man, keep doing that, keep liking up, keep subscribing, because we're gonna keep giving you that content the exclusive way.
Let's
Come
get
on,
it.
man. You already know what it is. Man, man. But we talked about a lot of great things that happened, with Monday Night Raw, happened with Austin Theory, the greater things happened with NXT, okay? And then even one of the best things to talk about, my man Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown. But as
Shout out
always,
Carmelo.
shout out to that man. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. We're kind of seeing the shift happen a little bit in WWE, and hopefully it's one for the long run, and it's an actual, genuine good one. I'm looking forward to seeing more from this. This is looking good. It's looking good. But as always, I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight, and the one man and the only man that can check you into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Because we are the Exclusive Knights, we always ensure that we're the best there
Best
is,
there
the
is,
best there
the best
was,
there
and the
was,
best
and the
that ever
best there
will
ever
be.
will be.
And to
Excellence of
ensure,
execution.
that's right, boy, and to ensure that your nights will
Will
never
never
be
be
the
the same.
same.
Dear
Y'all,
Santa, all I want for Christmas is to be kissed by the devil. La primera.
y'all be good.
Ah, 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 ah.